just have to sit there and go, okay, whew.
To get close to him. In Japan, girls hold parties where
I've never done something this dark.
Leo is today a huge star, unlike any other. Arnie, Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise, and Bruce.
Television commercials and programs.
Leo's efforts to be a successful actor did cause him some problems at school.
His work
Movie Critters 3. He also had a part alongside another Hollywood child actor, Drew Barrymore, in Poison Ivy. He later got the opportunity to act with one of his own favorite movie stars, Robert De Niro, in This Boy's Life. He was very quickly becoming one of Hollywood's busiest young actors. In 1993, he was cast as the autistic brother of Johnny Depp in What's Eating Gilbert Grape. Leo's next movie was in the gritty, difficult urban drama, Basketball Diaries.
Basically a regular kid from New York who's a writer, who writes in his journal about everything that happens to him in his life. He's basically a tough little kid that causes trouble all around New York, and he gets involved with drugs, heroin, and it's about the downfall of how his life goes and all the things that happen to him. I've never done something this dark, and in this film there's so many dark scenes, and it's like one of the most real scripts I've ever read in my life. And then you start getting into the dark aspects of the drug world and the drug life. It's definitely not what I expected, you know. You sort of you work so hard to be in this place, and then once you're there, it's sort of like, it's shocking to be there. Everything sort of happens like this, and it's not how, you know, it's not as glamorous as you expected it to be, but, you know, that's an old cliche, I suppose. I'm enjoying it, you know, I'm having a good time. I'm just going to try and do as much good work at this point in my life as possible. That's how, you know, I'd love to do a comedy. That's not the point. The point is, those seem to be the ones that are most well-written and have the best people attached to them. It just sort of worked out that way. I haven't really planned it. I mean, I'm up for doing romance, comedy. Original rebels, you know? But in his world, he's rebelling against hate. Romeo, you know, goes through a lot. You know, it does take a toll on you. It does emotionally sort of just go, you just have to sit there and go, okay, whew.
Well, I have to say that Titanic was probably single-handedly the most incredible movie experience I've ever had in my life. It was a long film, the longest film I've ever done, and it was a long journey. When we went through a lot of things, and a lot of different emotions comes up doing a film like this.
It was almost like basic training at points. I mean, it was unbelievably hard to do, but other points, like just the intimate stuff with Kate and I, was really easy and fantastic.
I like his eyes.
There's no dispute about how good Leo looks on screen, but how good an actor is he really?
I don't necessarily have really like a plan of attack for how I do movies. I sort of see something that I like and a character that I want to get into, and I just take it, and I don't really like sketch out, okay, maybe I should do this one for commercial reasons and this one for that. And I think it's okay now that I'm still young, and I don't need to sort of branch off and become some big thing, you know what I mean?
Leonardo DiCaprio has achieved in a short time what many actors never.
From Los Angeles latchkey kid to Prince Ermelin, a German legal secretary, now a single mother, Ermelin worked several jobs to support her son, adding on-screen presence. His work on the film got him nominations for both a Golden Globe and an Oscar. He was being cocky and sort of this showy character, but he has a lot of hidden, deeper stuff that's going on. I mean, this whole, he's trying to, he has a wife and everything. He's engaged to this girl, and he has this sort of flirting thing with Sharon Stone. He has a lot of hidden pain because of his father. DiCaprio went from shooting guns to shooting heroin on screen in the 1995 drama The Basketball Diaries. The picture followed the tumultuous New York upbringing of poet Jim Carroll. He's basically the type of kid that doesn't necessarily fit in, and always, I think, looks at things at a different perspective than everybody else. He's a lot different than everybody else as well. Even though he's like his friends, there's a different side of him where he's a lot more intelligent, and I think he understands a lot more. He's wise beyond his age. In 1996, Leo pushed his acting skills even further, with execs. It also proved he could sell movie tickets. Romeo and Juliet made over $147 million worldwide. It was a sign of things to... Leo earned a $2 million paycheck. Titanic was an epic... Titanic was a tough act to follow, but DiCaprio took it in stride. He followed it up in 1998 with The Man in the Iron Mask.
Let us play a game. Let us pretend as if I am king and you are the captain of my musketeers.
Leonardo would become a passion for him as he matured. When he got back to...
And it was really like the way films should be made and the whole process should be made, you know what I mean? Where everyone's constantly working together and constantly collaborating and coming into Marty's office after lunch and coming up with new ideas every second.
DiCaprio and Scorsese continued their creative partnership in 2006 with The Departed.
He's undercover for the Boston Police Department. Going nuts, man, all right? It can't be someone else every day.
He's got this great relationship.
This was also around the time
I think our version, has a little more spunk or whatnot.
Thank you very much.
I have all these ideas in my head of what Romeo's supposed to be, and I want to erase that and sort of just make him a real guy. I would not even think twice. I would never even consider, trying the drug in order to get into the character because, mistakes have been made in the past.
DiCaprio is known for maintaining close business friendships and making educated career decisions. The reality of the business was hard in his teenage years.
I sort of got discouraged by it. I thought it was like a nutty profession to be in because I went to this agent one time who sort of rejected me because I had a bad haircut. So I said, well, if this is what acting's all about, I don't want to do this. So I got discouraged until I was 14, and now I'm going crazy.
Both Oscar and Golden Globe nominations.
I'm nominated. I do a film.
At 19, DiCaprio was already sounding like an old pro.
I'm a cowboy, and I shoot a lot of varmints and all the scumballs. And I'm basically trying to prove to my father that I'm his legitimate son, which he doesn't believe. I'm like a Billy the Kid character. And I do a little flirting with Sharon. Stone.
Leonardo's next characters would include a heroin-addicted school kid and a high-flying aviator. Actor Leonardo DiCaprio plays a troubled character in The Basketball Diaries as a schoolboy hooked on heroin.
I didn't know what...
While the intensity of the character was draining on Leonardo, he was determined not to let a movie role affect him personally.
I'm kind of good at... You also have to be real and you have to get to those places.
In reality, DiCaprio and his Basketball Diaries co-star Mark Wahlberg became firm friends. They joined another mate of Leonardo.
If Jeremy Jack a favor by not giving him the part, because it allowed him to joke that he would have David Hasselhoff, still looking for work. Since losing on Baywatch, the famous actor has gone on to star in Titanic, won a lot of awards, and is one of the world's premier actors.